or 10 days, 7 to 10 days, most students will reflect on this as being one of the most, or if not the most, formative, important educational experiences that they've had in their whole 4 years of college.
Thank you, Professor Ted Henken, for speaking with us today. You are the Associate Professor of Black and Hispanic Studies at Baruch College. And for the past 3 years at Macaulay Honors College, you have led a program to New Orleans where students have been able to volunteer. And I want to hear more about that program. I know our students will want to hear more about that program. So first, just tell us how you became interested in New Orleans.
Sure. I went to graduate school at Tulane University, which is one of the universities in New Orleans. I studied Latin American studies there. I got my PhD in 2002. And during my time in New Orleans, I went to New Orleans with the same idea. New Orleans is a party city, party school, Tulane, but I discovered that there's a deep history and culture upon which New Orleans thrives. After Katrina hit in 2005 in the summer, I really felt that culture was threatened and was also largely forgotten. We decided to go down on a spring break just to do some service in 2007, and the first trip went so well that we decided to turn it into a recurring opportunity for Macaulay students, and we spend a week, 10 days during spring break. We do service. It's a project of service learning, but the idea behind it is to not only do service and give, but in the process of giving and doing service, we receive a lot of information, experiences, culturally, emotionally, bond that's created among the students who go down there. Intellectually, we learn about the history, the topography of New Orleans. We learn about the culture or cultures of New Orleans, the Cajuns, the Creoles, the old African American community, the roots of jazz, many different experiences, dancing, singing, eating crawfish. You'll find out what a crawfish is. You'll find out a new vocabulary, what lagniappe is, what a muffaletta is. So there's a lot of, New Orleans is kind of part of the United States, but also not part of the United States. It has its own sui generis culture and history that the students will come away with a great appreciation for.
And describe some of the service projects that the students have been involved in.
Basically what we do is we help modify, refurbish, or we rebuild homes that were damaged during the storm, during the flooding, or help to build new homes. We have foremen, people who are there who are skilled, volunteer coordinators who are skilled in the arts of rebuilding and building. Often we will even work with the homeowners. We're working now with a group called Rebuilding Together New Orleans, which focuses mostly on helping those with few resources, elderly people, people who are incapacitated in some way, helping them to rebuild their homes. And we focus on some of the more neglected neighborhoods in and around New Orleans. We've worked in a neighborhood very adjacent to the lower 9th Ward called Holy Cross. We've also worked in Holly Grove. The hip-hop fans out there will recognize Holly Grove because that's where some of today's hottest acts come from.
And what makes this program, this opportunity to both serve and learn, important?
Learning is about much more than memorizing facts from a book or writing a paper from what you learn in the book, on the internet, or in class. It's taking the learning experience out into the street, out into the world, and interfacing with people and their lives so that students have an appreciation for the complexity of the issues that we're confronting, but also gives a human face to those issues. With that and under their belts, it will allow them to approach all kinds of new learning experiences in a new way.